Jason Palliser here at the 2-Day Investment Blueprint. So this tip is about title companies. It's about closing out your deals. And you can either wet fund it or dry fund it. And if you're watching this and you're not sure what each one is, then you better pay attention through the entire video here. You want to dry fund your deals that you end up wholesaling, right? We build out blueprints for people to get to off-market properties. We don't care if you keep them as a rental or fix and flip them. That's fine. But if you get to everything first, here's the deal. We're going to turn you into super wholesalers just by process of elimination. Because you're going to get in front of good stuff, you cherry pick, and then other people want the leads that you got, right? So you're going to wholesale those properties to them. So here's what I need you to understand. When you go to closing, the title company is either going to make you wet fund that deal or dry fund it. You want to find a title company, because not all title companies, title attorneys are created equal, okay? So you want to find one that will dry fund it for you, which simply means this. You go in to buy it because you wrote a contract to buy it for 100. You spend 1 minute buying it. Then you spend 1 minute selling it. And you want that person that you're selling it to for 130, so you're making a $30,000 spread. You want them to bring in 130 grand, and you want to find a title company that will let you dry fund it, which means this. They bring in the 130. It flows over to your transaction all the way to the end property owner that you wrote for 100 grand. So that 130 pays the 100 grand to them, and then 30 stops at you, and you just walk out the door with a $30,000 check. Make sense? That's what dry funding is. Wet funding, which is what most title companies or title attorneys make you do, is this. You have to physically bring in 100 grand for 1 minute, which is absurd, okay? But that's what most of them do. So you have to wet fund it. And they say, hey, look, we'll do the deal. You can walk in and out in 2 minutes flat, but you got to bring the money in. Well, that slows people down, especially if you're an investor that's getting started, or even if you're an experienced investor and we do a blueprint for you, and which will set you on fire, and all of a sudden you got 10, 12, 15 deals close in a month, or if you're already at 5 or 10 deals, now you're up to 20 deals. It's going to kind of be hard to come up with all that money if your title company or title attorney makes you wet fund it, right? So that means you got to bring in 100 grand for 1 minute. They bring in their 130, the 100 grand paid over here. You get the 100 grand back plus 30 grand from that end buyer, right? You don't want to do that. You want to find somebody that understands a title company or a title attorney that understands the nature of a wholesale transaction, which there's nothing wrong with those transactions. That's why you always want to deal with cash buyers on the back end, and because they bring in cash, right? That understands that, and they'll dry fund it for you, which means the end person, their money pays for the original transaction, and you just keep the spread. That's what you want to do, okay? So you want to find and interview title companies or title attorneys that will actually do a dry funding wholesale deal for you. Now, having said that, the way it kind of works with most that we deal with is this. They put some verbiage in the end buyer's documents that they sign stating that I know the use of my funds to purchase right here for 130 with me are going to fund that original transaction. So they're basically acknowledging that their funds are also being used for that original transaction. And most of the time, if you have a good title company, good title attorney, they understand it. And whoever their underwriter is on the back end is comfortable with it. And then you're good to go, right? So you need to find a title company or title attorney that will let you dry fund. And if they don't do it much and you're interviewing them, you could educate them. If you watch this video, you could educate them and say, hey, can you talk to your underwriters and find out if it's okay, as long as the end buyer acknowledges on one of your documents that the use of their funds are going to fund the original purchase, and they sign it. Are we good then? Can you ask your underwriters to see if that's okay? And once you find one that says, yeah, you know what, we'll find out, and then if it's okay, and they tell you it's okay, now you're off and running. Now that means going a ton of appointments, which will teach you in the blueprint, get to all the off-market stuff, make offers, get deals locked up. We'll show you how to find all the cash buyers anyways when we do a blueprint. And you're going to walk in with them in unison, 1 minute to buy it, 1 minute to sell it, no money, walk out with 30 grand. That's what we want you to do. So this is about finding the right title company to partner with or title attorney, okay? Go out and do this tomorrow. It's in your best interest to interview 20 or 30 different title companies. I'd have more than one. I'd have 2 or 3 that'll do it, because From time to time, their underwriters change their mind on things, right? You don't want to be caught in those crosshairs, especially if we set your lead generation on fire and all of a sudden you went from closing 3 or 4 deals a month to 10 to 12, right? Be prepared. If you build this out the right way from the beginning, you win, okay? So this is what I want you to do so that you can drive fund deals until kingdom come. Share this if you liked it. Thanks. See you guys.